I wasn't expecting DEFY Wrestling to steal WrestleMania weekend or anything, but with so many indie promotions putting their best foot forward, I thought they'd at least give us something. Instead, we got a card full of solid wrestling that didn't really click. KENTA vs. Mance Warner dragged, the rock and roll match felt outdated, and even the main event took way too long to get going. Let's break down why this show just didn't hit. Let's start with the biggest missed opportunity on this card, KENTA vs. Mance Warner. Now I get what they were going for, gritty brawler versus smug vet, but this just dragged. The pace was off, the structure was flat, and it never really found that second gear. There was one Uranagi on a chair from KENTA that kind of popped the crowd, but that was just about it. Even the GTS didn't save this. Manser looked fine, and the crowd didn't turn on it, but this felt more like a booking obligation than something built to shine on Mania weekend. I give this one 2.5 stars. Next up, the DEFY World Title Triple Threat match. Clark Connors vs. ELP vs. Man Like DeReiss. Now this match should have been the anchor of the show, and to be fair, the final few minutes were actually strong. There were good near falls, there were sharp transitions, and they finally found a rhythm near the end. But it took way too long to get there. The structure was just there. A lot of setup, but not enough punch early on. Still, Connors retained with the no chaser, and the crowd was into the finish. Overall, this was fine, but nowhere near what you want from a Mania weekend main event. This gets 3.5 stars. Now, the DEFY Tag Team Triple Threat match was a bright spot. Sinner and Saint vs. Lycos Gym versus the Dragon Gate squad of Hiho and Susumu Yokosuka. I thought this was high energy from start to finish. It wasn't really about the story, it was more about the action, and that worked. I thought Sinner and Saint adapted perfectly to both team styles. The pacing I thought was tight, the spots were clean, and every team got time to shine without stepping on each other. This was probably my favorite match of the night, but that's not saying a whole lot. I give this one 3.5 stars. Evil vs. Michael Oku was not terrible, and I guess that's a win in itself. Look, we all know how Evil matches usually go. Interference, stalling, distractions, rinse and repeat. But this one, Oku actually got offense, and the shenanigans were dialed back a bit. Yeah, there was a low blow with some other stuff here and there, so of course that's gonna come. But it didn't dominate the story of the match. It moved, and it made sense, and it let Oku show a little fire before eating a loss. I give this one 3 stars. The 6-woman tag match I thought was rough at times, with Liza Hall, Nicole Matthews, and Riho taking on Amira, Vert Vixen, and Viva Van. Now granted, this match did have some effort, but the execution wasn't always there. Viva Van tried some ambitious aerial moves, but the timing was just off at times, and there was even a second rope backdrop that looked very not safe at all. That said, they kept the energy up, and Rio and Vert Vixen brawling on the outside during the finish gave it some type of life. It pretty much got better as it went on. I give this one 3 stars. Then there's the 6-man tag with the Bollywood Boys and Galeno Del Mal versus C4 and Negro Casas. This was more about the moment than the match. Seeing Galeno, part of the Wagner family, mix it up with Negro Casas had some of that nostalgic value to it. But beyond that, it was just fine. I thought Galeno looked strong, Casas got his respect pop, and the finish with the triple cradles felt a bit rushed. I give this one 2 stars. And finally, Rock and Roll Express versus Midnight Heat. Look, I get the nostalgia, but this didn't really need to be on this show. Morton and Gibson are legends, we all know that, but this felt like filler, not a feature. They hit a destroyer and a punch to get the win, and the crowd gave the polite "you still got it" energy, but at the end of the day, it just dragged. And sure, maybe from a live perspective it was fine, but at home, I just wanted that match to end. I give this one 1.5 stars. So where does that leave us? DEFY Living Proof I thought wasn't a bad show, but it wasn't memorable either. During the biggest wrestling weekend of the year, a weekend where indie promotions show the world what they're made of, DEFY gave us a bunch of matches that felt pretty routine. No surprises, no emotional moments, no great matches, and no reason to rewatch these matches. It was just fine. I give this a 7.0 out of 10. Respectable for what it was, but not recommended. Now, if you caught this show, let me know what you thought. Was there a match that landed more for you than it did for me? And if you like this review, go ahead and hit that like, hit that subscribe, and share this video out with your friends. And for that, I'll see y'all later.